Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the Adoption Pod episode 18. We're back. Today we got Scott Herman, the co-founder of Wagmi Games. Mick is, I don't know what's going on. I think she's got some technical difficulties. I know she's away. She's at a family member's house, so she was going to join from mobile today, so she might be having some internet issues. So we'll see if she pops in. Hopefully she can. If not, we'll do it solo. We'll do it live. No worries. We got the great guest Scott Herman. We'll chat. We got the chat at the Futures Conference in Miami. So for any of you that was there, you probably saw us. And if you didn't, you missed out. But yeah, here we are, guys. I'm gonna bring Scott on, and let's just get right into it. We're gonna chat about Wagmi Games. Yo, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? Happy to be here.
Thanks, brother. Mick is having some technical difficulties. She's having internet issues, so she may or may not pop in. Hopefully she can make it, but we'll just give her, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt with the internet.
You know, I'm gonna have to bust her balls hard next time I
Oh,
see her.
oh, please! I would have it no other way. Absolutely. So, man, we saw each other at the Futures Conference. I was just standing there, and I'm like, I swear I just saw this guy. I'm like, I know this guy, and I saw you on Killer Whales, that was an interesting experience. But before we get into that, for anybody that doesn't know who you are, explain who you are, what you got going on, what you do, and what you're building.
Yeah, great. So hey everyone, my name is Scott Herman. I'm one of the co-founders here at Wagmi Games. We're a tower defense game available on iPhone and Android. But we're much more than a game. We've actually built an expansive universe that, goes across anime, collectibles, toys, comic books, you name it. We're the next Star Wars. That's basically what it comes down to. And I can say that with a straight face because we've spent the last 4 years scaling and building the entire universe to ensure that we can do something on that level. And it takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication, and a really amazing community in order to get this far. And luckily for us, we have one of the absolute best communities, not just in Web3, but in all of gaming. So really excited to be here, talk Wagmi Games, fill you guys in on, what our plans are for 2026 and beyond, and just continue to grow and bring more awareness to Web3 and digital ownership.
Absolutely, man. That's what it's all about. It's about bringing awareness to Web3, and exactly. I think a lot of people, when it comes to digital ownership, either they don't know about it or nothing bad has happened yet where they don't realize that they need it yet. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I think eventually there's going to come to a point where your favorite game goes belly up, and all the money you've spent in the game is gone. Like you have no control over that.
It's funny. I understood the value of digital ownership very well back in I think ninth grade. So like maybe 2001 or something like that. Because someone, I think I know who it is, a friend, quote unquote, broke into my house
Oh
and
no.
stole my Nintendo 64 and all my games. Okay. Except Zelda, because I had those tucked away so my brother couldn't get at them. And so I actually still have Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask Gold Edition in a pristine box.
Oh, that was the
Uh,
post you had actually, right? Those.
yeah.
I
Oh,
was like, oh
yeah.
my god, that was crazy. Those are worth a
Bro,
pretty penny.
though those games literally still have all the packaging. I cut the plastic open just enough to slide the cartridge out, and then when I was done, I would put it back in the plastic and back in the box because that's how psycho I was, even at 14 years old.
Honestly,
Anyways,
that's crazy to be able to have that kind of discipline to do that and understand the value of it at that age. Me, I was just ripping open boxes, toss the boxes
dude,
over here.
when I was like 7 or 8, whenever Ninja Turtles was popping, I would, how remember the original Turtles came with like a brown tree of like random weapons and things, right? That each turtle had. When I was done playing with my toys, even at like 8, I would put all my turtles on my shelf and I would put all their little toys under their feet just to make sure I didn't lose anything. Like that's how psychotic I was even as a kid. But back to the story. So like, this someone stole all my Nintendo 64 games and my Nintendo 64, and I'm a completionist. So I had every game, GoldenEye, San Francisco Rush, Cruising USA, Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart, GoldenEye, all Wave Racer, every game 100% complete. gone with
Oh my
nothing to
god.
show for it. And what it made me realize even back then was the game was gone. I had like at least if the game is on my shelf, I have something to show for those hundreds of hours poured into these games.
Yeah.
When they were stolen from me, it made me realize like, wow, I have nothing to show. I have memories, of course,
Mhm.
but I have nothing to show for all that time spent. Like at least if I still had 007, I had all the time trials unlocked. I could plug the game in right now and I could enjoy it and try to beat my old scores. But when it was stolen, it was gone. And so digital ownership to me, I didn't know it at the time, was important. And once I started learning about NFTs back in, 2020 and how they relate to gaming, that's when it all clicked for me and I'm like, I'm all in. This is the next big thing. And anybody who says it's not the next big thing, the more the merrier because I want to be where everyone says they don't want to be.
It definitely is the next big thing because I was watching something the other day and we're like, you don't own anything anymore. You used to have CDs, you used to have VHS tapes, you used to have, your pictures in your album for your family pictures that you actually physically had. We don't physically own everything. We have subscriptions for everything, and it's a form of control. On the other hand, because like all those companies, if you don't do something they like, they ban you, and then you can't use their platform anymore. Then all of a sudden now all your assets that you had go along with it, right? So being able to own something on the blockchain, to own something verified by math, that you own it, is like the new type of certificate of authenticity. Like, you remember going to like, all those like collectibles places back in the day, you get like a sports car and it comes with a little paper certificate, but like, I don't know if the guy signed it, made it look real. I didn't know when I was a kid. Like, how do you know it's real?
Well, that also makes it easier to validate a physical collectible because if I own the digital, which you can't fake,
Hmm.
right? And I also have the physical, you're more than likely to believe that the physical I'm giving you is the real deal. Because why would I have both? But if I didn't have the digital, but I only had the physical, you know, uh, maybe it worked out that way, but 9 times out of 10, you're probably getting scammed, right? Oh, yeah, the guy just never sent me the digital, even though he was supposed to. No, you probably just have a fake.
Right, exactly.
With the Funko Pops, I'm a huge collector of Funko Pops. There's a lot of really hard to get ones where people will just print it and they'll print the Comic Con sticker and they'll paint the Funko and then that's what they'll sell you. And the only way on a Funko Pop you can make sure that the collectible is the right one is there's actually a number on the foot of the Funko and there's a number imprinted on the bottom of every Funko Pop box.
Oh.
So I didn't know that, not that I got scammed, but when I found out, I had a couple Funkos for my Dragon Ball Z collection. I'm like, I'm gonna make sure these motherfuckers didn't scam me.
Right.
Luckily, they didn't.
You know what? It's the same thing now. Well, like, I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and it's really hard for me to go out and buy really, really expensive cards now because there's so many fakes, and they're getting really good. Like, you literally, it gets to a point where you have to like use like a monocle and like look at the card and
Yeah.
find like the really fine details. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not gonna know the difference. You're gonna get screwed, right?
And the problem is a lot of people don't care if they have the real thing or the fake because they just want to have it.
Yeah.
So that's a problem as well because you should care. Like, no, the whole point of the collectible is you don't have it and I do.
Yeah, it
Right? Like that's
diminishes the
kind of
value of it if you're just making a derivative. Like, this is the whole thing with fiat currency, right? There's a lot of it, and it devalues the currency.
well, just like for Star Wars when they released Boba Fett, it was supposed to be rocket firing Boba Fett, and it was actually supposed to be a projectile that shot out of his back. And when the toy finally came out, the projectile didn't shoot because like Battlestar Galactica had a toy where it shot a projectile and some kid almost choked on it. So then, it kind of ruined it for the Boba Fett figure. But there are prototypes of the Boba Fett figure that do have the projectile that shoots
Holy
that are
cow!
worth like 25, 30 grand. But like shit, most people nowadays probably know how to 3D print the damn thing. So
Yeah,
you really need to know your shit in the collectible space to make sure that you're not getting screwed over.
I've yet to see a 3D print that you can't tell it's 3D printed. Like you always
Yeah,
have
'cause it's
those
so
lines.
light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that too, actually.
but I
Yeah.
mean, it could be getting to that point, right?
Oh, before you know it, they're going to be 3D printing houses.
They do.
Oh yeah, I've seen the concrete. They do the foundations and everything. That's
Yeah,
insane.
you literally get, like, blocks, and then you build your house, and it's like Legos.
That's how they're going to make houses on Mars, guys. It's just going to be 3D printed.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I had a local Comic-Con show I did this weekend, and I brought my booth there. I have, like, a small booth I bring to these local shows,
Yeah.
and there was a table there that was all 3D printed stuff, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." They're like, "Yeah, don't buy a 3D printer, um, because then you're gonna be, printing all this stuff and trying to sell it at Comic Cons."
Yeah, right. So actually, speaking of that, you're there. So how was it? How was the non Web3 crowd? Like, how did they respond to the game? How did they how does it work with them?
Well, every single person that came over to me. So I don't know if you saw my photo. I posted it on Instagram, but I have a custom tablecloth that has all of our characters on it.
Yep.
Super nice. I had my laptop open and I was playing my game trailer, my anime trailer, as well as our cinematic trailer. And then I have like a little thing on the front that holds a comic book, so people could like flip through it.
Yep.
And I had my U2s, of course, on the table. I showed you the toys, right? Remember these guys? Like everybody loves picking these up and checking them out. And everyone who downloaded the game got a free comic book, which is the easiest way to get people to download your game because they want free stuff. And every single person that came over and checked out all my stuff, I said, "We are the next Star Wars." And not one person tried to correct me and say that it's impossible or crazy because I we just have so much stuff and such an amazing story.
Hmm.
And, the core audiences for like Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, Doctor Who, like they're gone. They're leaving. Rings of Power, like they're just fed up with all these brands changing the stories. And there's like such this vacuum in the creative space where people are looking for original content. And so when I start showcasing the game and they see the anime playing and I start telling them about the story of the characters and what we plan on doing in our because we have our online comic book as well, they just get so excited and they just want to learn more. And I don't have to sell them anything. I'm just telling them what the story is.
Yeah. How do you like? Honestly, I have it right beside me here. Like, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like, the other one I didn't even take out of the plastic. I don't think I'm going to because it's so good. And the one thing I noticed, there's so much AI slop in the space. Let me just show you guys. Hopefully my green screen doesn't blur it out, but like this is actual art. This is
Yeah.
not AI printed stuff, which is honestly very refreshing because don't get me wrong, I like the AI stuff. It's really cool what you can do with it and but like I don't know, I feel like when there's so much AI stuff, you really start to like appreciate things that are made by people more.
Well, it's a AI is a tool to enhance what you already have, right? So like we've been able to take AI to bring those comic book panels to life,
Hmm.
which is really cool. And we can use that in our ads and we can use that to tell the story vocally if we wanted to. So instead of just having like a comic book panel like slowly zoom in or something, you can have the character move a little bit, which is awesome.
Hmm.
But the base has to be there, which is the hand drawn stuff, right?
Absolutely. Like I had
And
an artist in the space that a friend of mine, and she showed me one of her images, and I brought it through an AI that just animated it. It kept it the same. It just animated. I'm like, see the depth that you can add to it just with one thing in AI. The original drawing is the same, but they added a whole new level with the animation.
well, and when it comes to character creation, and a lot of people just think, oh, well, we'll just create characters in AI, right? Our characters, we actually worked with the studio in California called GadgetBot. And GadgetBot is a really famous studio. They do Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Jurassic World, Ender's Game, Alita Battle Angel, Pacific Rim,
Dude,
like
Alita's
all
the
big, yeah,
best. I love Alita.
yeah. Alita was amazing. But the point is, the studio that we worked with that redid our characters, because in the very beginning, our characters were very plain. They looked like Power Rangers, right? They literally just had different suits. And that's fine because that's the growth of a company. And when we worked with GadgetBot, because we had spent so much time on the story and the character backgrounds and things like that, what they actually did for our 6 aliens and our 6 humans is they dove like incredibly deep into the lore and they brought the characters to life as representations of what that lore is. So like for example on the comic book, you see the guy with the wings, right? That's
Yep.
Talos, and you with at one look at him, you're like, oh, this guy has like Egyptian vibes, right? And he's literally wearing the armor of Horus, which is an Egyptian god, right? So they were able to bring these characters to life in a way that made sense and also made them unique. So Talos, I didn't want him to look like another like archangel with wings because
Yeah.
a lot of characters with wings, they look like variants of Archangel, right, from X-Men. And so we worked incredibly hard to make sure every single character had. So basically, what we learned, because we've learned a lot over the past 4 years, is in this business, if you turn the lights off, let's say you have like the Avengers. If you turned off the lights and it was just their shadow, you would know every single character based on their shadow alone.
Oh yeah, like the
That's Spider-Man.
silhouette. Yeah.
Yeah, the silhouette, right? With our characters originally, you turn the lights off, they all look the same. They just have
Okay.
different Power Ranger suits. So with our characters now, you turn off the lights, you see the silhouette, you can pick every character out.
That's actually a really cool way to think about it. Actually, that just goes to show the detail when you think about it that way.
Well, that's the thing, man, is we came into this space, myself and my fellow founders, like we're storytellers. None of us had ever built a game before. Obviously, a lifetime of playing games and collecting and things like that is very beneficial. And I mean, you can't fake 30 years of watching anime, right? Like you can't you can't fake 30 years of literally consuming copious amounts of cartoons and
It's a
information that I thought,
culture. It's not
yeah,
just like
it's a
playing games.
culture, dude. Like
You
you
have to
can't
understand
fake
the
it.
culture, right?
Yeah, dude. Like literally things that I've learned and picked up along the way that at the time were just pointless nuggets of information. Now I can talk the talk and walk the walk with all these people that I'm meeting in this space, and I get that same respect because they don't just see me as a grifter, someone trying to come in here and
Yeah, it's a
make a quick.
game built by gamers.
Yeah, like, dude, like, not to toot my own horn, but like at the Comic Con convention I was at, I was the only dude there that like worked out, right? Like it's just you don't really see a lot of like bodybuilder dudes that are in those types of places. And it was even funny because one of the people I was talking to, they're like, "So is everybody in that owns your business jacked, or is it just you?" you know? Um, but I did the show last year as well, and it was a lot of fun. And I saw a few people this year that were there last year. In fact, this one guy came over, and he was very introverted. I remembered that about him. And then I remember the shirt he was wearing. I'm like, dude, you were here last year. You were wearing an Evangelion shirt with the angels on it, and he just like lit up. And he went from being introverted to like not giving a fuck, and he was just like so excited. He's like, because I remembered his shirt. But that's the kind of stuff that I remember because I'm into the culture. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that shirt was badass. Of course, I remember that shirt, right?
That's like the best for me. Like the best icebreaker is just like, "Yo, that shirt's dope," and then boom, conversation starts. Because I'm
Yeah. Well,
also an introvert, which is hilarious because I'm on Twitter doing interviews live. So like we talked about this before with lore. Like I told you about my whole League of Legends ideas. Like people pay money on skins even though it has no beneficial value to the game because they get attached to the characters. They just want to show off all their cool skins because they love that character. And that's why like I talk about this whole, first of all, the whole Web3 Web2. I hate that idea. It's just a game. I don't like using the term Web2 Web3.
we only really use that term in like these circles because
Yeah.
we know what it means. But outside of here, like I didn't tell anybody at the convention that we were a Web3 game. I didn't even tell them that they could buy, sell, and trade the cards. I just said, "Hey, we have a comic and we have a badass game you can play with your friends." And they were like, "I'm sold. Get me in."
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to crypto stuff or blockchain like the word of assets, I feel like you got to ease people in, and that's why it's like it should be in your face. It should be there, and if you're interested, you know, you can go under the hood and you know, go down the rabbit hole. But so what do you think is needed to make, you know, a good game, and how are you guys doing it versus, you know, what other guys are doing?
Yeah, so I not that we're perfect. We've learned a lot along the way, and we've had many hoops to jump over, right, and many ups and downs. But that's what kind of gets you to like the perfect product, right? Is the ability to build, have good times, have bad times, and then overcome obstacles. So out of the gate, though, we were very lucky with some of our early advisors. Alex Ropian, the creator of Halo and Bungie, was an early advisor for us that really helped set us on the right track. That's why story is so important. Ed Del Castillo is one of the visionaries behind Command and Conquer, which is, if you've never played that game before, it's a game that is it's complicated, but at the same time it's not, because it's layered so well,
Hmm.
right? With how you play the game. So we had a lot of direction in the very beginning, and we from the start had been shouting from the rooftops, nobody cares about the technology. It just, the game has to be fun. And so we hired people to build our game that have built fun games, that have been in the industry for 20 plus years, right? And we've actually done two reality shows. We did the very first crypto reality show, The Next Crypto Gem.
Hmm.
It didn't get syndication like it was supposed to. It did get aired. It was us, DeFi Kingdoms, Suka Coin, and Vulcan Forge were the four teams that were on
This
it.
sounds really familiar. Was that back in 2021?
Yeah, we
Okay.
actually, so it was Leah Hale Perm was one of the judges, Brian D. Evans and Cryptos R Us. And we literally, me and Ian were there. We won every competition. One of the competitions, the editing was so bad. Like, they show us winning the competition, winning the challenge, because you had to get votes from like the crowd, and we got like 10 votes. Everyone else got like three. And then the judges were like, Vulcan Forge won the challenge today. We're like, what the fuck? Because
Okay.
we won every single challenge. So maybe they thought like if we just won them all, the show would be boring. I don't know what it was, right?
We've come a
And
long way
then
since 2021.
yeah, bro. And then we ended up getting second place because BitBoy was one of the judges on the last episode. We had to do like a Shark Tank pitch. It was
Okay.
6 episodes. So every episode was a challenge, right? And everybody there was talking shit about BitBoy. They're like, this guy's a clown. Why is he going to be here? Whatever, And this
They
was
were right.
before the This was before the meltdown, by the way. Like,
Okay, before his crash out era, yeah.
this was before the crash out. So everyone's like, this guy's a loser, whatever. So production told him that one of the teams was talking shit, even though it was all of us. And so Jamie from Vulcan Forge, it was us and him. He presented first, and then he came back and he's like, dude, BitBoy asked me if I was talking shit. And we're like, well, what'd you say? And he's like, I said no. I was like, you bitch. So then me and Ein go out there, and he's like, you guys talk a lot about accountability. Are you gonna hold yourselves accountable for talking smack about me? We're like, yeah, you're a scammer.
Oh man, I gotta go. Is that on the internet? I gotta go find that
I'll send
episode.
you the link.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I gained like 5,000, I think, followers on Twitter when I posted that clip. It was so funny.
Dude, that's how I got into crypto. I was watching him profusely, and you know, we know the story of what happened. We're not gonna get into that, but yeah. So like, definitely learning out loud, building the game as we go. So like, what my question to you, I didn't get to ask you at the conference, is like, why tower defense? What was the like inspiration behind that?
Yeah, so my co-founder Lewis, it was his idea. So I actually joined as a co-founder, myself and my business partner Costas. We joined as co-founders maybe like 2 months after Ian and Lewis started Wagmi Games. And basically, when we came on board, it was actually to help sell the Genesis NFTs, which we sold out in like a week and a half, which is awesome. But then after that, we had started learning more about the business, and we're like, hey, like, we don't want to get paid. We want to come in as co-founders and turn this thing into the next big thing. And that's when we joined the team. So it was already decided that it was a tower defense game.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why tower defense is, if you look up games in the App Store that make good money and that are competitive and that also have a range from being like casual to mid-core to eventually like very competitive esports, tower defense, well, the Clash Royale style of tower defense
Mm-hmm.
fits right in there. And so that was a big thing for us because we would love to get to a point to where, we do esports and things like that. But the game has to be competitive. There has to be player versus enemy. There has to be player versus player, the ability to have clans, the ability to have friends, the ability to do tournaments, and all of those things jive really nicely with a tower defense game. And like literally my mom, when I first showed her the game after one match, she knew how to play. It's very intuitive.
Yeah,
Oh, I drag these cards on the map. They move on their own, but they have their own different sets of skills and attacks and defenses. And once you learn what those are, you start building a strategy around it.
dude, I'm a huge advocate of esports, and I really do believe this space in crypto. I think a lot of games that are building in this space need to focus on esports because, like, I went to the League of Legends North American Finals,
Hmm.
in Toronto at the Scotiabank Arena, and it was like, when I walked in there, it was sold out. Mind you, it was $35 a ticket. It was pretty
Oh, dude,
good
it's more.
prices.
They make more money than sports and
Oh yeah,
entertainment combined.
sold out. And I'm telling you, the crowd better than any Leaf game I've ever been to. And I'll tell you, it when I walked in, I'm like, this is it. This is the fucking future of gaming. This is what it's all about. I literally watched the leagues of all League of Legends more than I watched the any pro sport. It was that good. The announcers were good. Like, mind you, I've seen it come and progress along the years, but like, I really believe that's a huge business, and we really need to tap into that in competitive sports, in the Web3 space. And we're primed for it. We have some games that have potential for that. And again, yours definitely, having esports in that, huge, because competitiveness brings so many people in. Like, look at Call of Duty, look Street Fighter, like all those competitive games. And
And that's the thing too. A lot of games came in Web3 and they're like, "Yeah, we're building an esports game." It's like, no, you can't build an esports game. You got to build a game that's fun and just hope to God enough people play it that it
yeah,
becomes esports. Like, you,
absolutely.
you know what I mean?
like
So,
like I've been playing League since before the whole competitive thing came out. It took a while for it to get
well,
traction,
even
right?
skill-based wagering is going to be huge.
Hmm.
And we've already been talking to a few different companies that they basically can integrate into your API, and you can just have a new game mode that pops up and says skill-based battle. And now all of a sudden you're wagering, best 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5, 5 out of 7, or whatever it might be. And now you can actually put your skills on the line, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so and this company that we had a chat with, gamers.bet is their name. They're gonna be revealing their platform at, GDC next year. And so, and they're like, "Yeah, we can literally tap into any game on any console, iPhone, Android, and it's just a new feature that pops up." And imagine what that's gonna do for the content creation space, and I think a lot about content creators because I've been one for the last 16 years. If you got like 3 people watching you, you're not monetized, you're not making any money. And if you're streaming for 7 or 8 hours, you're streaming because you love a game or whatever, but like it's not supplementing your income, right? But imagine you just started streaming and you now have the opportunity to host tournaments and do skill-based wagering battles. If you got 3 people watching you, it doesn't matter because if you're winning 65, 75% of the time, you still might make a couple $100 playing the game and being competitive.
That takes a whole new level to the 1v1 me, bro.
Yeah, dude, literally. And these are the things that I think about just because, again, like I've been a content creator in the fitness space and gaming space for a very long time. And on my gaming channel, I play a game called Dokkan Battle. It's a Dragon Ball Z game. I've been playing it for 10 years. I grew a YouTube channel around just Dokkan content to like almost like 80,000 subscribers.
Amazing.
I don't do it anymore. I don't have time. But I would actually get irritated because I would spend so much money on the game and I would get duplicates of all the legendary characters that are hard to get. The RNG is garbage, but I'm
Mm.
spending money, so I'm getting a lot of pulls. And I couldn't like just give it away if I wanted to. And I'd have people on my live stream be like, "Man, I've been playing this game for 3 years. I still don't have that character." And I'm sitting here with like 5 copies. And I'm
Mm.
like, "Bro, I would give this to you if I could." And again, when this was like 8, 9 years ago. when I learned about NFTs, like the light bulbs are like these different light bulbs go off in my head because I come from the content creator side of things as well.
Yeah. So talking about the oh actually I was gonna sorry, totally lost my train of thought. I was actually thinking about the game when I got in. So like this is my first experience in the game. I jumped in, I'm like, okay, it's pretty cool. Jump in, and then it gets like faster. Then faster. I'm like, holy shit! Oh my god! I was like literally swiping the cards. So I gotta keep up with this shit.
Yeah.
It honestly, the experience was really cool. The progressive, like, you know, 2 times power, and then it gets faster, and then 3 times power. And it's like, and then just you have a mayhem, and like that's where like it gets really hard because now you gotta like go, okay, I got this. Yeah, everything's calm, and then you gotta think on your feet so fast when it starts to get to that end. And if like one wrong move, you get the wrong card out. You gotta wait. Like time is really of the essence with the game. I really liked that feature, and that's where I see the competitiveness comes in because you got to know the strategy, have a good deck of cards, and like I love the whole aspect, and I love just ripping cards. Ripping cards are like it's like crack cocaine for me.
Yeah. And for everybody.
Yeah, bring a Magic player, man. Like crack pack, like that's what it's all about.
Dude, I don't know if I told you when we were hanging out. I went and got my Magic cards. They were in the attic at my mother's house, and I was just kind of flipping through, and all the cards that I had that are worth anything are like the third edition, so they're not worth anything,
Mm.
right? Like your Shivian dragons and stuff. But I didn't know they only did one run of the Sliver Queen, and I have one, so I
Oh
was pretty
wow,
badass. Yeah,
it's some cards, man. Are there's like in the Magic community, there's like this argument that like some of the cards are like better performing than stocks, and some of them
yeah.
aren't really. Especially after COVID. After COVID, like some of these cards just like skyrocketed in price.
There's like 55,000 different cards, I think, in Magic,
Oh
right?
my god, honestly, I feel like it's too much now. Like I feel like there's a new set like every 3 weeks. Even like Pokemon, I was buying Pokemon cards for my
Well,
daughter.
didn't they just do like Ninja Turtles in Magic?
Yes, I think that's like the newest set that there's. No, I think the newest one just came out was Avatar. Avatar is like the most recent set. But that's the thing. They're just using IPs like crazy and like pumping out cards, which devalues everything else. And like I was getting Pokemon cards with my daughter, and I feel like every 2 weeks there's a new set. I'm like, it's too many cards. I don't have space for all these cards. So we got to
Well,
the little app.
well, something that we want to do a card collection for ours,
Okay.
but not a playing game. Literally like an old school collection where, you know, that you have like your 100 cards that are 1 through 100, and you have your hollows, and then you have like some of your special ones that are harder to get. Because that's the kind of stuff I liked collecting when I was a kid. Like, I don't want to play a TCG. I just want to collect these cool friggin' cards and then have like stories on the back that I can read, or like their stats on the back or something like that. Like that's how my first card collection I had as a kid was like Marvel Universe 3. And that's what it was. I still actually back here in these binders, I have all of them still. But, you know, I feel like I like it when things have a start and an end.
Yeah.
And with a card collection, you can do multiple series, but I like knowing that I collected that series. Whereas, like what you were saying with like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, it just never ends, never ends, never ends, never ends, never ends,
Yeah.
and you're just constantly trying to get them all right. Um,
It was great when you
because
were following the show, when like you know the cards are keeping up with like the episodes of the show. Now it's just all over the place.
yeah, I mean, and yeah, exactly. It gets pretty wild.
So
What's
that's a great idea. Actually, I'm sorry, my gears are turning when you're talking about cards now. Just I can just imagine like you crack a pack of Wagmi defense cards and you scan a QR code and you get a free pack in game. Like
well,
that's what I
that's
wish
literally
Magic
what.
cards were.
Well, we can do the golden ticket. I mean, that's what we're gonna do with the U2s. Is we'll literally have like, you know, 5 golden tickets, and if you open the U2s and you get the QR code and you scan it, you get an exclusive in the game. Like that's the future, right
Oh yeah.
there.
Oh, absolutely. That's again that ties in the physical asset with the digital asset, which I think is huge. To be honest, like I know a lot of people just like the whole digital space, but like I have these cards from like Avalanche. I think I still have like a. I'm also a nerd when it comes to cards, guys. I'm a big card collector. So there's like a
There you
bunch of like
go.
AVAX cards, and they have like NFC chips in them. and you can have it in your wallet, but you have the physical card and you can just
Oh,
tap.
like an amiibo from Nintendo.
Exactly, yeah. So you can just tap it. Like I like the physical, but also having it digital as well. So because like I'm not gonna bring it with me everywhere, so I can show my friends on my phone, but I actually own the damn thing, right? Physical,
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
still old and I like to touch things.
I mean, this is a real background, and that's a fraction of what I got.
Mine's a disaster, and my wife's computer's here, so we're just gonna keep it with the Canadian flag. So you were on Killer Whales, man. How was that experience, man? What was it like?
It was interesting. We kind of got shafted, actually. We did a follow up space a couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, because on the show we got one swim and four sinks, and the one swim was Anthony Scaramucci was one of our judges, and then it was funny because we did a follow up with like Altcoin Daily and Ill the producer, and on the spaces they were like, we actually all would have swam with you, but it was the end of the day. So like our call time was 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
and me and Ian were forced to stay inside this like little black tent for like 9 hours, and every other team got to present for like 2.5 hours. And then we were literally the last team to go. We were in and out in 30 minutes. They were just like, okay, sink or swim. And we're like, gonna ask any more questions?
Bro, it's 2021 all over again.
Dude, so like, we brought like all this shit to use in our presentation. They didn't even bring it inside the studio because it was like midnight when we finally filmed. And we had a kick-ass presentation. I think it was probably the best presentation that me and
It
Ian
was.
ever gave. And we gave comics to all the judges. We had some 3D printed toys we gave to all the judges, and it was just like they asked good questions, but we gave a whole presentation talking about how our in-app purchases, our ARPU, average revenue per paying users, like in the top 25th percentile. We talked about having the creator of Halo as an advisor. Our COO, Brent Pease, was, over at EA for 20 years, and he's been helping us like lead with all these different connections for like the IP. We showed them the anime that we produced with the same studio as Castlevania. We showed them the game. We showed them all this amazing stuff we had, all the traction we have, how big our community was. We have our own category on Kick and all this stuff. And they didn't show this in the episode, but the first thing out of their mouths from that chick Mika, who's a moron. So we finish this beautiful presentation. We give all these stats and say all this amazing stuff, and she's like, "Oh, your name Wagmi is like so cringe," and we're like,
Like
"What
that.
the fuck?" Here we go. And then it kind of went on from there, and you guys saw what happened in the episode. And like Illa was asking me like about my partnerships because I'm the head of partnerships, and I had worked with Lionsgate in the past
Mhm.
on my YouTube channel for my fitness. I was actually the head of their fitness channel. And he's like, "You worked with Lionsgate. Why don't you have a Lionsgate partnership?" I'm like, "Bro, that was 8 years ago, and it was for fitness. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, Lionsgate,
Yeah.
remember me? Give me a part." Like, it's not how it works.
Yeah.
Also, you motherfuckers didn't sign an NDA. I can't just tell you on a TV show that's gonna go live on public, like the partnership deals I'm working on. You know what I mean? That's like so
Exactly.
like some of the questions too they were asking, like I couldn't answer the way I wanted because I'm like, this is gonna be on TV. I can't talk about NDA shit, right?
Yeah, I
Uh,
honestly I felt the same way for you guys because like I've played a bunch of Web3 games. I've played other mobile games too, and I'll be honest with you, yours feels the most complete that I've played, hands down. The UI UX looks amazing. I like the music. The music sets the tone. Um, again the anime, the intro video, like I didn't feel like I was playing a Web3 game. Like I felt like I was just playing another, a Web2 game with a good studio. And to be honest, I feel like the intro and the anime are even better than some mobile games I played. Like they don't have that quality of graphic novel and everything like that. That I really love that. And we talked about Arcane and League of Legends. I would love to see short series, film, anime on with Wagmi here, but That's what I'm saying. Like, you actually have a good product, and that's why it's crazy that they thank you guys, because like I've been out there, I've played the games out there, and to be honest, out of all the Web3 games that I've played, there's only a handful that are really, I could say, like, on one hand I can count that, like, I enjoy playing, right?
Thanks, man. Well, it's funny because if you watch the episode, they show us from the back a couple times,
Hmm.
and I actually had 2 iPads wedged in the back of my pants because I was gonna whip out the game so they could play, and they all just wanted to just get out of there because it was,
Yeah,
like, midnight, and this is what, Austin said on the space, and they apologized for kind of treating us like shit. And they were like, we had been arguing with each other all day. It was midnight. We were tired. And we all just kind of wanted to get out of there. And you guys kind of got the short end of the stick. And he goes, if we could go back in time, we would have given you a swim because you guys have literally did what you said you were going to do. And now looking back, because it's been like a year since we filmed, you guys have come even
yeah.
further beyond what you even said that you were going to do at the time. And the goal with everything that we're doing here is to like you said, to be a normal game and to deliver on a level. Everything now is a remake of something else, and there's not a lot of new completely original ideas because it's hard. It like and you don't like you're we spent all this time and money to build this universe, this anime, these toys, comic book. You don't know if it's going to work,
No.
right? It's big risk, big reward. But when you do,
Even big studios are struggling to keep people, like, as people play the game for a couple hours and then off to the next thing, or back to Fortnite or whatever, right?
yeah, I mean, look at Concord. Sony spent like $400 million on Concord, but also too, like they weren't really trying to tell a story. They were trying to shove a political agenda down your throat, and everyone recognized it, and they're like, "Nah, we're good."
That's why Disney's falling down the tubes.
Well, that's why it's so important to have to be a part of the culture. A lot of these big studios, the people who are making the decisions are so disconnected from the actual culture and the fans that they don't know what they want. They're just doing what they want to do, which isn't how like when you want to bring a new idea to life. So for example, our story, Nephi Wars is what it's called, right? It says in the comic book Nephi Wars. We have a story Bible that's almost 900 pages long with its own appendix. It has its own chat GPT where you have all 8 episodes written out. Every artifact, every item that's in this in the lore, every language that the characters speak, all their backgrounds, it's all documented so that a writer can come in and read our story and search through there and do all the dialogue for all 8 episodes, and we're ready to go. And it's something that's original and fun. Versus like Melcros, for example. Not one person at the Comic Con when I told them the story thought that we were just trying to push like a girl boss because everything is like girl boss, girl boss, girl boss. And I'm like, well, one of our main characters is a girl, and she's the centerpiece of the story because she's the vehicle. Yeah, Melcros right there. She's the vehicle that helps bring all the other characters like into the game. Like you can tell the story through her. She gets her ass humbled real quick. That's why she's a cyborg, because she was so cocky because she has all this power that she thought she could take on Temelicus by herself. And Temelicus, spikes her through the torso, and then she gets her arm and legs ripped off by Dagon, the alien scientist, because they were experimenting on her. You want to talk about getting humbled? She got humbled real quick.
Dude, I love the whole cyborgs, man. Like, cyberpunk, like, that's my jam right there. I absolutely love the whole cyberpunk theme. So like when I saw like the video where like just they're putting her back together and making her a robot, I'm like,
That's my favorite
that's my
part.
jam. Let's go.
When they click her arm in, I'm like, I rewatched that. I'm like, that part is so cool. Click, click, click.
Dude, I absolutely love it. And that's like I played a lot of StarCraft too, and StarCraft, the original StarCraft. That's why I loved, my favorite class was Terran. Like, I love to play Terran because the whole idea of, like, robots, cyber, and, like, space themed, all that kind of stuff. I'm a huge nerd for that kind of stuff.
Well, when you focus on a good story,
Mhm.
everything else comes together. And that's what's really lost in our culture nowadays is they forgot how to tell a good story. And it's sad because I was telling my wife, like, I used to, every time a new Marvel movie was coming out, I was the first person. I want to be there the night before. It comes out on Friday. I'm going to the midnight showing on Thursday.
Yep.
When the special edition Blu-ray Steelbook came out at Best Buy, I pre-ordered that shit. Like, and then it just slowly, I just started not really giving a shit. And I
Dude.
can't even tell you the last time I've run to the movie theater. I think the last movie I saw was Thor, Love and Thunder, and I was just like, "All right, I'm done. Like, I'm
Yeah.
done for a while.
It got
I'll
so
wait till it comes
bad.
out."
And you're talking about the whole, shoving an agenda down your throat. I'm like, I was looking, I'm like, all the new Avengers, I'm like, every single new event. No, don't get me wrong. I have no problem with women Avengers, women, superheroes. But when you're shoving it all down your throat, and I'm like, they're all women. And I'm like, I was looking at the Avengers that are leaving, right? Because their stories are done, and then I'm like, dude, what is Spider-Man going to be? The pimp? Like,
Yeah.
it's just Spider-Man and a bunch of women. And like,
Well, even Tomb Raider, Laura Croft is supposed to be a badass,
mhm,
and all she did was cry the
yeah,
entire season 1. Every episode, she's crying about something. I'm like, that's not what it was like in the video game. Even,
bring back
Angelina
Angelina
Jolie,
Jolie. Yeah, bring her
like,
back.
she crushed it as Laura Croft.
Yeah, it's all the movies they're remaking them now, and it's just not the same. I think the pendulum will swing back eventually. It's funny actually. You're starting to see DC make better movies,
Yeah.
And
So the
DC like,
pendulum is swinging back, that's for
mhm,
sure. I mean, kids now are, back to talking the way we used to when we were kids.
mhm.
They've had enough, and that's good. And again, like, there is such a like, it's crazy to me because 10 years ago, if you said, "Do you think 10 years from now, people are gonna openly say how much they hate Star Wars, Marvel, Doctor Who?" Like, I'm like, "Dude, you're crazy. There's no way." Now, Disney can't even get a male audience to show up for a Star Wars or a Marvel movie.
No,
That's insane.
yeah, it's
But
definitely
they'll show up
changed.
for a Nephi Wars movie, that's for sure.
Let's go. Dude, I love it. I'm again huge fan of anime, and I'll actually start rewatching One Punch Man again. I've been binging that like crazy. The new
Oh my
season's out.
god, dude, have you seen all the stuff for the newest season where they just, like, fumbled so hard? Like, the chick, I don't know her name, like, in one animation scene, she has 6 fingers. She has, like, 5 fingers on the sword and then her thumb.
I didn't
In
notice
another
that.
one, they drew, like, 3 boobs.
What is this, Fifth Element?
Dude, this is wild, man.
It's yeah, the quality has kind of gone down the crapper, but yeah, I don't know what to say. It's hopefully we have people like you bringing us back to good quality stuff. So you guys just launched. What do you have for the future? What kind of like roadmap you guys got going out?
Yeah, I mean, well, our game's been out for over a year. We have our own category on Kick, which is super fun. But yeah, literally now though, we're out of soft launch
Hmm.
and we are starting to test our ads, gather KPIs, and slowly start putting more and more advertising dollars into like Meta ads and Google ads. So you're gonna start to see more Play Wagmi Defense ads on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, right? And we're at the point right now where it's literally just scaling the user base. The main focus is the game and scaling the game. And as we continue to grow, we'll, and get partnerships and things like that, then we'll start like getting the animation series started,
Hmm.
right? Start getting our toys in different distributors and things like that. Start talking to your Walmarts and Targets and GameStops, coming out with different types of collectibles like the card collection I talked about. Our big goal for 2026 is to literally just start hitting all the Comic Cons, anime cons, and setting up with like really big booths, interactive spaces where people can come. They can, play the game on a 55-inch touchscreen TV. They have the
Okay.
technology now where you can literally play a game like an Android on a TV, right, with a drag and drop. Selling, posters and acrylics and toys and just literally guerrilla marketing the shit out of these events while also doing, the meta ads. So yeah, the goal, the next step right now is we've built everything. Now we just need to get the world to get excited
Mhm.
about Wagmi games.
That's awesome. I love it. So, are you guys have any like conferences, like crypto conferences lined up for next year?
Honestly, dude, like, don't really care to do crypto conferences. You're just talking to the same 10 people who want to know which coin's gonna 100x. They don't really give a shit about your IP
Fair
or
enough.
what you've built. Which is, kind of sad to say because we have our roots in Web3, but at the same time, it's like, well, we want Web3 to be successful. We want crypto gaming to be successful. In order for that to happen, we need to get the 98% of the world that isn't in crypto yet. And that's always been our mantra from day one is we need to be the franchise
Mhm.
that shows the world that digital ownership is cool and is needed.
Absolutely. See,
And so
I
just
sorry, go ahead.
well, I'm saying if we do go to any Web3 events, right? You know, if we do, I mean, it's not a main focus for us, but like even the futuristic blockchain conference, right? Like I knew everybody there. It's the
Yeah.
same people that are
Yeah.
left from the bear market, right? How do we get new blood in by going to Anime Con, New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic, like those events?
Yeah.
That's where the new blood is, and in Wagmi Games is positioned to be able to be successful there and get those people excited about NFTs and digital ownership because our game is fun and our IP is cool.
And that's what it's all about. Like that's what I've been telling people forever. I'm like, you're just catering to the same type of people over and over and over. We're like, where's the money? Like, where's the user base? Hello, they're in Web 2. You have it's just logic. You have statistically you have more people playing Web 2 games than Web 3 games. So
Well, you have to go to
therefore
where your customers are.
you got to cater to them, right? And like there's nothing, the thing is people don't know they need the values that blockchain brings until they get in, and then you educate them, right? But they got to like the game first because they're not going to stay there if the game's shit, because there's so much variety out there that to go to switch another song to the next song is 2 seconds, to get to another
Yeah.
game 2 seconds. So you got to get them hooked first and then educate slowly. So not subtly, but you know what I mean. Like don't like blow it in your face. Like all you don't want it all in your face, and then people are gonna get turned off. Right? It needs to be in the background. That's why I look at Off the Grid, for example. Off the Grid's a great game, and they're not saying, "Hey, here it's Web 3, everything's on a blockchain." There's a wallet there. If you choose to go and figure out that you're using a blockchain, that's fine, but you don't need to. You can have a wallet. You have all your skins, your assets in game there, but you don't have to actually use the blockchain as part of it if you don't want to. And that's, I believe, how it should be.
Yeah, man, you have to go where your customer is.
Mhm.
We don't Our customer isn't at Web3 events because people at Web3 events, they just want to know what the meta is, what's the next coin that no one knows about. Like that's just what it is, and that's fine. We need gamers and people who freak out over anime and want to give us all their monies for collectibles.
Absolutely, man. Are the collectibles going to be like also tied to the blockchain, where like if you own the physical one, you can have like a version of it in game, or a pack? Like I guess you said like the cards, you can probably get like a golden ticket, like
Yeah,
you said,
we
right?
we have the opportunity to do all those things.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it, right? And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And I try to explain it when I have the opportunity. Is so like for example, we're on video, right? So like this character right here, this U2, and this is Melcros as a U2 collectible. She has her own box, right? Just to get this R&D done, the research and development to get to this point is 9 months
Wow.
just to get ready for distribution, right? The anime trailer that plays as soon as the game starts, that was about 9 months of work. Like all these things, we actually have a toy line. We don't have physicals yet, but we have all the prototypes done for 6 characters, 3 aliens and 3 humans. That took like 10 months just to get the files done for the prototypes for those toys. So there's so much time that goes into developing all these assets to get to the point to where at now. On top of that, obviously the game we've been building for
Mhm.
years. To get all of these things done and to the point to where we can market to the masses it's a monumental task. And that's why a lot of games in Web3 didn't make it, because they weren't spending all of this time trying to figure out all this stuff. They were hiring guys off of Fiverr. They were reskinning games that already exist.
Yeah.
And it was just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's
Copy
why it
pasta.
fizzled out and failed.
Neon Heroes.
Yeah, I mean,
It was Overwatch.
yeah, literally every game. I mean, look at Mafia. It's a clone of Clash of Clans,
Yeah.
right? Like
I feel like
little.
there's a lot of clones of Clash of Clans.
Well, there is. And when you're like, oh, we'll just clone it and then throw a token at it and people will want to buy it because it's Web3. It's like, well,
Yeah.
no, you still need an in-game economist and strategist who knows how to build games that make money. So our in-game economist, Michael Tomkiny, he was the lead developer on a game called Fishing Clash that's done over like $600 million in the App Store.
Wow.
Okay. The top 10 to 15 games in the App Store make anywhere between 15 to $150 million a month. Not a year, a month.
That's insane.
There's games that are making 100 grand a month that are such garbage that you would see it and be like, why?
Right?
Because they figured out how to scale the economy. And that's why, getting back to one of your earlier questions, like what separates us and what have we focused on? We've hired people, and that's why it's taken so long to get the game, into our soft launch and then out of soft launch, because we've had to make sure that user journey from download to the first battle to opening the shop to viewing tutorials, all of that is a flow, so that your retention numbers stay high. Your day 1 retention, your day 7 retention, your day 30 retention. How much money is our players spending in the game? Are they spending any money? Do they have a reason to spend money? Is your game, pay for power? Is it, free to play? We're a free to play game. But because of the way the economy is designed, maybe you don't want to wait an hour for your war chest to open. So you spend 99 cents and buy some gens to open it faster. Like, these are the ways that these games make money. And it's like, well, we're not telling you to spend money, but if you're impatient, or it's like, if you're just
Convenience,
having
right?
fun, yeah, convenience. And also, like, when I would go to the arcade, I'd spend 20, 30, $50 as a kid.
Yep.
It's the same thing. Well, if I'm playing a game on my phone and I'm having fun, sure, I'll spend $20.
Absolutely.
And if my favorite character, because the IP is so good, comes out with a new skin or a new variant, of course I'm going to buy it for $5. Why wouldn't I?
Absolutely. And I like the idea, like, especially when you're cracking packs, how you can use multiple cards to meld to make a better version of that one.
Oh yeah, it's insane, man. Even on the secondary market, you'll see commons selling for like 5-10 cents, right? And then you'll see legendaries selling 40, 50, $60.
Mhm.
So we have different variants of the cards. It's the same card in the game, but like we have a comic variant of the card collection. It was a special collection we did with the comic book that you have when we minted the NFTs. And a common comic variant will sell like $4.
Yeah.
And it's a common. You can get the same exact card for 10 cents, but it's not the comic variant, so it's not as cool.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I like about that too? Even though it's like, you're saying the legendaries like $50, that's not egregious. That's not so bad. Like I feel like some
And you
games,
can get it for free if you just grind for a few months.
and that's a huge thing for me, is like you got to cater to the people that just want to grind it, because people love grinding. Some people will, if it's game
I'm
is
a
fun.
grinder. That's
Yeah,
why we cater to grinders, because I'm a grinder.
if you like the game, you're gonna grind it out, and there's something rewarding about, some people, even though they have the money, will just grind it out because they wanna feel. And I like that dopamine spike of like the path of progress. Like that's one thing
Yeah.
I had a big problem with big time when it came out, is I'm like, there's no progress here. I don't feel like I'm getting anything. And all that was happening was, is just, you had a token, you would have to spend all this money on NFTs to be able to earn the token, and then they just started cutting the rewards that you get from the dungeon, so then you made less money. So like the whole reason why people came, because the gameplay was kind of, shit, and there's no story, there's nothing to attach me, there was just finance. And then when they start cutting rewards, like all crypto projects do, because it only favors the first people get in early, is the money runs out, and And then the token dumps like 70%, and then all of a sudden people leave because the game sucks, right?
Yeah, and big time has a lot of money in the treasury.
Yeah.
And I play. I actually have a lot of fun playing because I like to just chat with my friends on Discord and go through a dungeon. But yeah, I'm like, dude, where's the story? Also, if I'm a new player to big time, sucks to be me because the only NFT drop I'm gonna get is an emote.
Yeah.
And the last time I played big time, I got 2 NFT drops, and it was 2 emotes of an emote I already had on my character. And I was like, there's something wrong here
Hey, you have this
because
emote.
there's like,
Have another one.
dude, there's literally like 70 emotes. I got 2 copies of one I already had on my character. How does that happen?
It's you know what? I tried to get my like new people in the game. I tried to onboard like my brother-in-law because it's totally a game that he would like. And you know what the problem is? Like they were like, God, it's all the NFTs are so expensive to get started.
Yeah.
It got to that crazy point, and then they
Well, your
just
character looks like an idiot until you get an NFT
yeah,
close.
like
Like,
it was. I don't know. I definitely wasn't run by people that have played any sort of successful MMO, and that's what I like about you guys. You guys built the product first, and now you're marketing because it works, right? It's good, and I feel like they just like got it out there. And here's the little, the cherry. Here's the token and the NFTs, and you can earn and all this. And the promise was great, and I got into it because the economy was good. But the problem is they kept changing the rules. They kept changing the
yeah, a
economy.
lot.
And then it's like, well, now it doesn't make sense anymore because I got in because the economy looked really good. It reminded me of like Bitcoin.
Dude,
And
these guilds have spent hundreds of thousands
oh
of
my God,
dollars because they thought it was going to be this thing. And now they're sitting on all these time wardens and everything else
I still got
that
my Epic Time Word sitting there.
bro, like literally at one point you could rent a legendary time warden for like $150 a month.
It was so
Now it's
good.
like maybe $10. It's not even worth it.
Dude, it was nice while it lasted. I was getting like for my Epic Time Warden, I think I was getting like $200 or $150 a week. It was
Dude.
crazy. And I'm Canadian,
Yeah.
so that's like 40% more. But unfortunately, that will never last. It never. No game that comes out like that will ever last. And I said it when I was enjoying all those returns because I got in early. I was like, this is not gonna last. It's not sustainable. It never is.
Mhm.
I'll take it while I can, but on the other hand, it's like, this unless I kept saying with my
That's
friends
why you need an economist who
and a
understands like
storyteller.
a storyteller and an economist that understands like the player's journey, like you said, like start to finish. I can grind, but I can also pay. Like there, like even like for example, the a battle pass. If you notice, most battle passes
Mm,
they have 2 tracks. They have the free side,
yep.
and if you buy the battle pass, you also get this stuff.
Hmm.
And what ends up happening, you grind the entire battle pass out, get all the free shit, and then you look over to the left and you see all the other things you could get if you just spent $9.99. And then you're like, well, I already completed the pass. You spend the $9.99 and then you get all the other stuff. Right? It's
Really?
like, yeah, I mean that's what usually gets me. Like, so I played a Grand Cross. It was a Seven Deadly Sins game. It's still around
I didn't know that
on
had a game.
mobile.
That's sick.
Yeah, well, it was really good, but I stopped playing because they came out with so many new characters all the time that I was just like, I can't fucking keep up with this, and the RNG is shit. So fuck you for being greedy.
Yep.
Basically, is what it came down to. But they had a battle pass, and I would buy it because I would complete it, and then I would see all the gems and things I would get if I would just spend the $9. So I'm like, all right, well, I already completed it, and as soon as I buy it, it'll open up all those paths, and I'll get that too.
Dude, I just got into like Marvel Rivals and like heavy into Marvel Rivals now,
Yeah,
and I'm in that literally that predicament right now. I'm like, do I buy the battle pass or just grind out the free shit? Like, so like I'm thinking about it right
and it's
now, but
okay if you like the game.
I do,
It,
and that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, man, I really like this game. I think I'm gonna spend some money in it. And I probably will this week.
but with big time, you were spending money because you could make money.
That's the
You weren't
problem.
spending money because you're like, oh, this game is so awesome, the story's so fucking cool.
It sucked
you're
all the
like,
fun out of
"Oh,
it.
I better buy this Time Warden so I could rent it to this jackass for a couple $100 a month."
Yeah. And everybody, like, when you're going to dungeon, it was just min maxing. Everybody was literally spreadsheeting, especially when you're playing at the guilds. Everyone is spreadsheeting it, and everybody's telling, hey, this dungeon's paying out here, and, like, you know what I mean, like, don't do
Yeah.
these dungeons, like. So, like, now, like, you're not even showcasing the whole game when you're streaming it, because you're just showing how to make money. Then I go make a video how to make $400 a month in a game, and I got 1 million views or whatever. And then I make a video how to protect your crypto assets and be secure in crypto, and it gets none. Like, so it's, unfortunately, that's what the people want. They just want to like,
I hope they figure it out big time, because I think it is a really cool game.
has a
I
lot
think
of
that
potential.
it has so much potential. I actually went to college with Mike, the CMO.
Oh,
It's
really?
funny. Yeah, him and I chat quite a bit on Telegram, and I tell him all the time, I'm like, dude, I've been telling him for like 2 years, where is the story? And it's funny because the kid that runs Open Loot, Nervin is his name. Because I remember way back we were talking about possibly, like, bringing Wagmi to Open Loop. It didn't work out, and he said to me, I showed him our whole universe, and he's like, "Yeah, I think you guys are just wasting a lot of time with your IP and your in the comic and the anime and all that stuff. You should only focus on the game. Like, all that other stuff is a waste of time." And I was like, what games do you play?" He's like, "Big time."
Oh my god, dude.
And I'm like, "That explains your answer. And you're in charge of Open Loop, and you're in charge of this ecosystem, and you have 0 clue about why IP is important to a video game?"
Yeah.
I was like,
What game on Open Loot are people still playing? Like, on a big scale, like, none.
I mean, I don't even know if any of my friends have played big time in the last 6 months, honestly.
I haven't played it since 2024, like early 2024. So it's
Which,
been a
again,
minute.
like, I was playing it all the time.
Every day I was on it. That was my bear market.
Dude, and it wasn't even to earn. I like dungeon crawlers.
Hmm.
And I was playing with my friends, and it was just like, being goofy on Discord. "Hi, what's up, everybody?"
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And that
just being a jackass.
I the same way, dude, with the guilds or playing with the friends, and you know what? It was nice, but the problem, it got really, really repetitive. And I'm a big MMO fan. Like, I played Final Fantasy 14 when it was at the beginning. It was shit. They redid it. It became one of the best MMOs out there. So, like, that's my baseline. It's like, where are you going? Like, you
Yeah.
have an amazing story. I know it's Square Enix, whatever, right? But, like, it doesn't have to be as good as Final Fantasy 14, but, like, anywhere near here, and we're like, the story just fucking sucks. Like,
Well, that's what
you have
was
AI
it
now.
for
Like,
us. And, like, are we just another mobile game, or are we an original IP with story and cool character? Like, that was our plan. Was, well, we can't just be another tower defense game.
absolutely. And
What makes us different from Clash Royale, which is they still make 70 million a month. What makes us different from them, even though we're similar play style? It's the characters, it's the story, it's the lore, and some other game features that we have that differentiate us as well. But, like, why would you play us over Clash Royale? Well, because number one, the game is just as fun. It's tower defense. Strategy is very similar. Number two, yes, there is an opportunity to earn if you're grinding and collecting and evolving the characters. Yeah, you can sell them. Even if you sell it for $2, that's still $2 more than you would have made playing Clash Royale.
absolutely, earning, and for me, earning is like the cherry on top. It's like the
Correct.
added bonus of playing a really cool game is like, and I can make money. That's so cool. And I own these assets and whatever. But
Well,
yeah.
for me, it was more or less like just being able to trade. Like, the money making aside, if we're about to enter like a clan battle, and I'm like, oh man, a couple of my guys just haven't been grinding, and they don't have really high level characters. Hey, I'll let you borrow a couple of mine
Mhm.
for the clan battle, then just give them back.
Yeah,
Like, that, as a gamer, that's what gets me excited. Like, literally just being able to trade or give shit away. It doesn't always have to be about buying and selling. It's literally just, what's community. Sure, we can talk, but if our games can interact with each other and trade cards back and forth, I mean, shit, we could do it as kids with our Game Boys with the little wire connect, trade Pokemon. Like,
You can't collect them all unless you had that. Like whoever had that cable was like the coolest fucking kid ever.
Yeah. And it's almost like in Web3, it was a lot of dudes that played games as kids and then like forgot how to fly, like Peter Pan. They forgot how to fly, and then they're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna make a lot of money here because I used to be a big gamer, but like you forgot
That's a
what
really
made
good
it cool.
analogy, actually.
Yeah, you just forgot how to fly. I never forgot. I never stopped flying.
That's awesome, dude.
So my arms are so jacked, just constantly.
I just started hitting the gym. I'm not quite there yet, so I'm getting back into it. So maybe you guys can give me some tips because I gotta grow these muscles so I can lift my kid up and not be gasping for air.
I got you, man. I got you.
Dude, it was awesome having you on. I appreciate the chat. Yeah, awesome guy to chat with. The game is fun. So I suggest people go out there and play it and let people know where they can find you guys. Let them know where you can find the game. I was
Yeah.
actually playing on PC, so you can actually play it on Google Play on the PC, which is pretty cool. Because I'm sitting here a lot of the time. So yeah, so let people know where they can find you guys.
Yeah. So literally go to wagmigames.com. All of our links are there. You go in the App Store, iPhone or Android, just literally type in Wagmi. It'll come right up. Or if you want to do the full name, Wagmi Defense, you can download, get started to play. We have our own custom category on Kick. We stream multiple times a week, myself and some of our other creators. We're always available on X. If you guys want to follow me directly, Scott_Herman. My DMs are always open. It's actually a huge pet peeve of mine is people who don't answer their motherfucking DMs. Like, why are you on social media?
It should be better
Um,
now with the new chat. I've had a lot of people say, "Man, I love this unread tab."
well, you know what's funny is a lot of people try to be like, "Oh, I get so many DMs." I'm like, "No, you don't. You really don't." In fact, the more popular you are, usually the less DMs you get because people think you get so many that you're not going to respond.
For real, that's a good way to think about it.
Bro, I grew to 3 million subscribers on YouTube. Like I know what it's like, and that's literally the truth of it. But you know, anybody who wants to play Wagme Defense, if you download and DM me on Twitter, I'll send you a starter pack so you can get in there,
Boom.
experience, buying some fun stuff in the shop, play with the alien deck or the human deck. Just hit me up.
Yeah, and it's a modern CDN on Wagme, so if you want to challenge me, I'm up for it. I'm down.
Yeah, always down.
All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to playing the game. I'm actually my Wednesday streams. I'm going to be doing more gaming, so I'm going to be featuring that on there because I'm
Whenever
hooked
you're
now.
gonna stream, hit me up first so I can give you some giveaways.
Absolutely, brother. We'll do.
Awesome. Well, thank you, man. It was a pleasure being here.
Awesome, man. Have a good one. Take care.
See ya.
All right, guys, that was Scott Herman. What an awesome guy, man. We had a really great conversation at Futures Conference and we hit it off right away. We like a lot of the same games growing up, so it's just nice to talk to people that just get it. I feel like I get a lot of hate from other gamers in the space because they're so bullish on their project, but like the game's got to be good. And I know people get emotionally attached to stuff, but you got to have something that performs. I'm sorry, the crypto market in general has matured, so like you got to have results now, and you got to have a game that's fun, because what the hell is the point of playing a game if it's not fun? Like that makes no sense, right? So if you sit down to play a game, you got to actually enjoy what you're doing. It shouldn't just be a financial thing. It shouldn't be a job, right? But great conversation. We're not even going to get in the charts today. The markets are kind of recovering. So day by day, again, I'll tell you guys right now, when the daily gets above the 200-day moving average, that's when I start to get excited. But until then, I'm not excited. Mick didn't make it in. She blessed us in the chat. She was trolling here. So if you're still here, Mick, what's going on? I hope your internet issues got settled. And then next week we're looking to have potentially J Chains, because we sponsor J Chains for a fight, and he's going to be fighting in Dubai on December 5th. I know he just signed his contract, so we're just waiting for the opponent. But so keep your eyes out for that. And we'll probably try to have him on next week. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for the show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for popping in, and we'll see you guys next week, 9 p.m. Thanks, guys.